Good morning, everybody. Jackie here, hanging out in our gorgeous Capitol building today. And I don't know if you can hear around me. It is a buzz because it is Veterans Day on the Hill, which means we're talking about things that we hope the legislators will listen to this session to really help out our veterans all across the great state of Iowa. Now, just really quickly, making my way down here, roadways were fine. You're still feeling that kind of light spritz and sprinkle that's happening, but thankfully those temperatures are above freezing. So driving here, not an issue at all. There's still lots of plows doing their business to make sure everything is fine on the roadways later on, so that might slow you up a bit. And we always encourage you, if there are emergency vehicles, to move over as well, because there was an ambulance trying to get by on some pretty packed traffic on I-235. Now, when you get to the sidewalks, there you want to watch out a little bit. They can be a little slick, but no excuses. If you are able, we encourage you to come out to the Capitol today to hear some incredible speakers and find out how we can give back to our veterans. And we're going to give you some great interviews and talk to some of the wonderful people that are here today speaking on behalf of the veterans, starting out with Carole Whitmore this morning. She is the National Council rep for the VFW. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you.
Okay, let's talk about why this day is so important here on the Capitol Hill.
Well, it's important to be here today because we get our chance to talk with our legislators about what's important for veterans in our state and nationally also. We're trying to increase awareness about veterans issues, financial protection for veterans, increasing our tax exemptions for veterans, treating disabilities like Social Security, and bringing back patriotism into our schools. It's important that children growing up understand what veterans have done for them and are willing to do and sacrifice to protect our country and our state, to ensure that we keep our rights and our freedoms. And it is bringing awareness to everything for veterans today.
All right, so let's kind of describe the room and then break down some of those elements that we hope that the legislators listen to this session. So if people come to the Capitol, right here in the center atrium, what are they going to experience this morning?
You know, today it's a lot of it is about networking. We all network with other organizations, and when it comes down to it, we all have the same values, the same core values about taking care of veterans. It's not about VFW, American Legion, DAV. It is about everybody grouping together and taking care of what needs to be done for veterans.
So a lot of different vendors, including representation from the VFW here. If veterans are looking for some assistance, if they're looking to have a voice in what's happening in the new legislative session, this is a great way to start.
Absolutely. This is one way to start. If you're looking for assistance, looking for help, that's what we're here for, is to provide an arena for veterans that don't know where to start to get help with either finances or health, anything on those lines there. You know, this is one way to provide that avenue for veterans.
Now, you mentioned not only helping our veterans, but there be an awareness, especially with our youth in our school systems. Why is that so important and a focus that you guys have this year?
I think, it's forgotten about so much. It's not taught as much in schools. There are a lot of teachers that advocate for veterans out there. We just had our Voice of Democracy and Patriot Pen program for kids all the way from 6th grade up through 12th, and writing their patriotic views about what America means to them as far as what veterans do. And it is just so important that we not forget where we came from. If we don't teach our history, it will be forgotten.
So what are some of the main points that we're trying to get across today? You mentioned property tax. We're talking about just even how we hang our flags in honor of our veterans. Are those some of the points that I'm sorry to say I've heard before, but we've gotten ever so close with our legislators, but just not close enough? Are those still some of the main points that we're trying to get through again this year?
Yes, thank you, Jackie, for bringing that up. We are still trying to advocate for flying the MIA POW flag. would not ever go above the United States flag. It flies directly below that and can be flown on holidays just like any other flag. And, we're advocating for that to make sure that that is recognized. There's still missing from all wars, and, especially Korea, Vietnam, even Iraq and Afghanistan. We still have missing in action and POWs, and we need to make sure that people do not forget that.
Paying a little respect to our veterans, learning how you can get some assistance if you are a veteran in our great state of Iowa. There's an opportunity not only to get that information, but let your voice be heard. We're in our beautiful Capitol atrium, and we have legislators and people that can make the decisions, literally standing above us on the second level, looking down, and are here to see what they have to say, because they're the ones that can make a difference here across our state. So if you're able to make it, I know the weather might be keeping you at home. We encourage you to come on down. Official festivities with some incredible speakers, including the governor, will be starting at 10 a.m. this morning. But we're going to continue to bring you some wonderful interviews. And of course, Iowa Live, very proud to be part of that opening ceremonies with the festivities that start at 10 a.m. this morning. Really quickly, if people aren't able to make it down, but they want to make sure their voice is heard, what do you recommend this morning?
There's several places that you can go to advocate or get help. We have Veterans Affairs that's on Euclid Avenue. Our Veterans of Foreign Wars, the Legion, DAV, AMVETS. There are multiple places. We're all online, and you can check it out there. Or if you can't get there, you look for a bus. It's free for veterans. Bus rides on the DART system are free for veterans.
Okay, great information this morning, Carole. Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you very much for your time this morning.